everybody, I'm back. It's Dawn with the Nourish Spot Hour. I hope you enjoyed a wonderful week last week. And I hope today, because it's beautiful in New York City today, the sun is shining, the people are out, and I hope that you're enjoying the day. This is my fourth I would say, activity for the day. So it's been chock full, and I think my guest, Marsha, I want to say it right. She told me it rhymes with Perrier, so I'm going to say Guerrier. Am I saying it right? Yay! Marsha Guerrier, CEO of Women on the Rise Network. But before we get started, and it's Women on the Rise New York, excuse me. Before we get started, I just need to tell you, the Nourish Spot Hour is brought to you by the Nourish Spot. I am the CEO of the Nourish Spot, and we are open now. We're located at 10705 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard here in Jamaica, Queens. And we employ youth from the Southeast Queens community, young people who are interested in culinary arts, and they're there to nourish you right now. Go see Carla and Amina and Ruth and tell them each that Miss Kelly sent you. So we want to get started because today is, I'm really excited about having you here, Marsha.
Thank you so much.
You know, I met Marsha at an event in New York City, Sirius Radio, right? We were both participants at All About Sales, Next Nation. She was having a special about hair care.
Right.
And we met there. And you know, I truly believe that God puts people in your path for a reason. And so
Can we tell them how I looked at you? I said, I know you.
Yes, go ahead.
And it was like, hey, we're friends already. I know you.
Right.
And then we started, because her spirit just draws you in. And I'm like, oh, I got fun. I draw to fun people.
Right.
And then after a second, I was like, wait a minute, I don't know you. I've seen you on social media.
Yes.
And through this Southeast Queens, and we are actually attached to a whole suite of network of people.
Yes.
And that's how I've seen you.
Yes. And it's funny because I run into that a lot. Even earlier today, somebody said, I think I know you. And I said, you probably saw me on, in a newspaper or something, because I'm really on my hustle and grind, trying to brand the Nourish Spot, because as a business owner, that the only way that people are going to know about your business is if you're out there talking about it, right? And you're, I would even tell you, sometimes it seems like I'm overdoing it, but I realize as an entrepreneur, there's no such thing. You have to keep beating the drum in order for people to know who you are, what your value proposition is, and what you offer to the community. So I'm not going to stop. I'll never get tired of telling people, come, let us nourish you at the Nourish Spot, my Black family-owned micro business of the year. So with that, Marsha, welcome to the Nourish Spot Hour.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, I know you as CEO of Women on the Rise New York. I know you as author of Soaring Beyond the 9 to 5. I just love the name of that book. I know you as a motivational speaker, trainer, business analyst, coach, and as I said earlier, you found the time to found the Eva Jordan Foundation.
Yes.
So we're going to unpack that. It sure is. Let's unpack that. Let's start with the CEO of Women on the Rise Network and your upcoming 6th annual conference and expo.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
6 years.
6 years, that's a lot.
We're going to be at the LaGuardia Plaza Hotel this Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
It's now a 2-day event. I started 6 years ago in Valley Stream at a community center.
Wow. And how many women?
About 23, 25 women.
Okay.
Had about 7 vendors.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't matter. I didn't need a whole big room. I didn't need a fancy place. I knew I wanted to start where I was.
Okay.
Right? And really, I needed a space where I could bring all my friends together that were doing their little side hustles, that were having little businesses, but they needed what? Like you just said, exposure.
Exactly.
They needed people to hear and
To
learn
know,
and
right.
to know about their business. So
Right.
I said, we have to start this type of gathering for ourselves,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And it may not be across the nation just yet, but let us keep working it.
Right.
We're gonna get there one day.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady.
Right.
So 6 years ago, I started in the community center, and each year I did something different.
Okay.
Each year I built upon what I wanted to serve and give to the people at the conference, and throughout the year, I host small little workshops
Okay.
in my community where I would bring women together. We have a little mastermind sessions every month.
Okay, and here we go. She talks about mastermind. So I don't know about you, but I've heard people talk about mastermind, but I'm not sure what it is. So can you explain a little bit
Absolutely.
about what that is?
So a mastermind is a group of like-minded individuals on a similar path or similar journey in specific modalities. In my case, I bring a group of women together that are starting or growing a business and that want to get support and assistance in different areas of entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So for my masterminds can happen pretty much in almost any industry. But you primarily hear it in the entrepreneur space for people that are I've seen and been a part of different masterminds, people from 6 figures trying to get to 7 figures.
Okay.
And startups, just trying to start up.
Okay.
But you kind of have a group of people that are on that same path, and you could share your experiences, you could share strategies and build ideas. And there's usually a leader. So in my case, for my masterminds, I'm the group leader.
Okay.
And I coach a group of women through the challenges and teach them the things that they need to learn about entrepreneurship.
So is it kind of like groupthink? I mean,
Yes.
are you, and to be a part of Mastermind, is it like a membership organization?
Yes.
Or- okay,
So it's
how
not
does
a
it work?
membership organization, but there is a membership structured fee that
Okay.
you do have to pay each month to be a part of the mastermind, because along with the education, we also bring in other experts
Okay.
in their fields of, so I bring in like financial experts, marketing experts. We talk about how to drive sales.
Okay.
We talk about, a lot of times we're steady talking about mindset.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
talk-
because that means a lot.
Half the time when you're a solopreneur, solo CEO, you are amongst your family and friends that kind of are not on that same path and journey, so you feel isolated.
True. I said that last week, that entrepreneurship could be a bit of a lonely journey.
It can be. And unless you find, they keep using this word tribe, unless you find that tribe and that community of people that you could kind of have those like brain vomits and cry about entrepreneurship. So when you cry, because we cry, entrepreneurs cry, we go through ups and downs and ebbs and flows,
Cyclical.
right?
Mhm.
So when you have those moments and you're speaking to a non-entrepreneur person, a person who loves corporate America, I'm still in corporate America, so I love it, but someone who doesn't understand why would you want to put yourself in that type of risk, they're not going to sympathize with you.
So I have to tell myself, before I became an entrepreneur, I was a hard-charging corporate executive, senior corporate executive at that. And I did have friends that had businesses, and I'll be perfectly honest, I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
And today I'm a little bit more apologetic, because I didn't get it. I just did not understand it. Now, I'm not going to say today that I still agree with the way the person was managing the business, right? There are some things that I still think that was, they could have fixed, right? But I do get it now as an entrepreneur about the long hours. I get it about, having so many balls in the air and having to juggle.
Make decisions.
Yeah, on a moment's notice, financial struggles.
Hardships.
Licensing, permits, just dealing with customers.
Right.
So I get it.
Right.
And then we're not even talking about the whole self-care part, because I would tell you how many times I walked in my house after I closed my store thinking that I'm gonna watch a TV show or something and wake up in my clothes like at 3 o'clock in the morning because I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
So I definitely, I get it now, and I understand why it's important for entrepreneurs to have other entrepreneurs around them, especially people that might be in different areas. Right?
It's important.
Yeah, so that we're all, because we're thinking different, and they can bring new ideas, new concepts that you might not normally think about. So let's move on, because I want to talk about the conference. So the conference is 2 days, right? Friday and Saturday. What time do you start on Friday?
Registration both days starts at 8:30 and the program starts at 9 and we end 6 o'clock both days.
Both days, okay. So tell us now, is this conference sold out, or is there still time to get tickets?
It's not completely sold out yet. There's still time to get tickets. I urge you to go to www.womenontheriseny.com and grab your tickets.
Yes, grab your tickets, because I'm going to be there. I know Dorinda Walker's going to be there. I know Keisha is going to be there.
We have Kathleen Meredith, who is the founder of Fat Girl Dance Movement.
Right, and Keisha Barton. That's Keisha Barton.
Yes, Keisha Barton. And we have Sable B, who is the founder of Real Brown Girls.
Right.
Phenomenal group. And you can find one on Instagram.
And we got Sharon from Next Up.
Right. Next Up PR, my publicist. Hello, Sharon.
Yes.
And we do have Ramon Ray, who is the one male.
The one good male.
One good man. We usually have men that do speak. We have had it in the past, but he is the founder of Smart Hustle magazine.
Oh, okay.
And he hosts a Smart Hustle conference as well.
Okay.
So he is a phenomenal speaker. He's like real awesome on stage.
Good.
He gives great nuggets. He'll be talking about cultivating that community.
Okay.
And how important it is to a brand to build a community around your brand.
Well, I think that's wonderful. And one more thing before, we'll come back to the conference, but one more thing, how much are the tickets? Because it's important, people will need to know how much it is to go. So how much are the tickets?
2 days, $199 for 2 days, and if you want to come one Friday or Saturday, it's $99.
Wonderful. So come on, get your tickets and join us at Women on the Rise, New York. And I think you still even have time for sponsors, if there are any sponsors out there that would like to get their brands in front of the women.
125 women that joined us last year and hopefully this year. Tickets are still going, so it is. I'm so excited. Friday is a full VIP mastermind day on Friday, where we're asking people bring your laptops. We're actually teaching you what I call the 4 essential M's of business: mindset, money, marketing, and media.
Okay.
So you're going to learn hands-on, bring your laptops.
Bring your laptops.
How to cultivate that CEO mindset, how to really identify that target client.
Okay.
Because sometimes when we are, especially when we're new entrepreneurs, we're afraid to segment and really narrow down the
scope. And it's all about niche marketing.
It's all about niche marketing.
Yes.
You have to speak to the person that you want to bring into your business, right?
Exactly.
So we're going to be having that conversation, helping you identify who that ideal client is, and then we're going to help you create content that speaks to that client, creating that lead magnet, as we call it.
Okay.
Creating a landing page for you to give that lead magnet, for you to collect emails so that you can start building and nurturing relationships with your clients or your potential clients through automated emails.
Wonderful.
You have to build systems, especially if you're like me.
Right.
I work, like you said, I work a full-time job. I run my business full-time.
And you're a mommy.
I have a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I was about to say, she's a mommy.
My boss, my real boss.
It's the truth. So
all of that put together, you need to create systems and strategies that will help your business run itself, so that when you have to bring your hours into your business, you're actually doing the thing that you actually love.
Right.
So what happens with solopreneurs and solo CEOs, we get burnt out because we're running the business.
And doing everything.
And doing everything.
Right. And then I think you left out 1 M. You did 3 M's. What was the last one?
Mindset, money, marketing, and media.
Right, and so what will the group be doing around media?
So media, we're going to talk about how important it is to engage with media, as our PR maven spoke about at the top of the hour, right? And how you could write a PR, what is that, press release.
Press release, yes.
So we're gonna give you some tips on creating press releases, and really, you should be releasing a press release once a month.
At least.
On anything.
On least, at least.
About anything.
Right. Related to your business.
Related to your business.
And how about Saturday? What's all
And
that?
so Saturday, again, we're taking those 4 M's and we're really making it an exciting day, a conference day with panel discussions, and our featured speakers are centered around all of those four M's. And also we have a great speaker coming to talk about diversity in the workplace, because again, most of the women that do attend the Women on the Rise Forum and Expo are dualpreneurs, are people in corporate America struggling, ready to fire corporate America. But I want people to know that going into work every day, there's a mindset you have to turn on. True. Before you go in. True. Trust and believe. I don't get excited about work. I love what I do.
Right.
Because I'm in technology.
Okay.
So I'm not. I'm on the back end as
Okay.
an analyst. I don't do coding.
Okay.
But I love the work that I do. What happens is you don't like the people.
This is true. This is true.
Let's talk about
But one thing, I had a mentor, his name is Dr. Davis, and when I first walked into Prudential 20 years ago, 1999 actually, December, he said to me, who do you work for? And I was brand new, right? So I'm like, I work for the Global Communications Department. And he said, no. And I said, no? He said, you work for you.
All right.
He said, so if you remember that every day when you come here, that you're working for you and for your family, then you won't mind coming.
Right.
He said, but when the day you forget that you are working for you, then it's going to seem like drudgery.
Yeah.
And so that's how I was able to go in every single day and keep those long hours, because I realized ultimately that I wasn't working for them. I was working for myself and for my 2 children.
Absolutely. You have to see your purpose and why you're there, and you have to, if you're a faithful person, call on God, right?
Yes.
And ask Him to give you the strength
to get through,
to deal with what you have to deal with, especially as African American women in corporate America.
Yes.
We're always last.
Well, corporate America wasn't built for us, but you know what? I don't want to really talk about you. I want to talk about you.
We got so much to talk about.
I want to talk about you. So you're also an author.
Yes.
Just recently releasing a book called Soaring Behind the 9 to 5. Wait, you said the 3rd book. Uh-oh. I've been corrected, her 3rd book. Okay, so wait, before we talk about this 3rd book, Soaring Beyond the 9 to 5, what's the names of the other 2?
So through my business, Women on Rise NY, I've produced the 3rd anthologies where I help other entrepreneurs become authors.
Oh, wonderful.
And it is just another extension of their business and their brand for them to show their expertise to their clients in the marketplace, right? So the first book is, I should say, Life Balance for Women on the Rise, where 7 authors took you through how they found balance in specific areas: spirituality, health and wellness, a whole bunch of others.
And what's the second one?
The second one is called Business Success Strategies for the Women on the Rise.
Wow, I like that. Okay. And then this 3rd one?
And then this 3rd one is Soaring Beyond the 9 to 5, where our authors, 7 authors, come together to write their personal stories and their personal journeys, working their jobs, working their careers, and starting and growing businesses.
So I want to know how, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but of course the audience will probably want to know. I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that would want to be authors. How do you source? How do you choose which 7 women or men that you put in your books, in your anthologies?
Great question. There is an application, so I want to learn about you. So it's not just free for all. So I want to learn about you. I want to know that you understand your journey and where you are. So it's not a perfect story to tell.
Okay.
And that's what my people that join the book, they're like, well, I want to do it, but my story is boring. There's no such thing as a story that's boring, because it's your own personal journey.
Right.
So I get to know the people for the book before they actually write.
Okay.
And usually they're part of my mastermind, so I've known them for some time and I know what they have been through. And I personally, if I work with you and I stay working with you, I know your worthiness and I need you to know it.
Right.
And writing that down and sharing that to the world is usually a very difficult thing for people, but then once they do it, they just flourish.
And you know, it's funny that you say that, because I don't know if it was a quote I read, I think it's a quote I read, but it said that somebody is waiting for you to talk about your imperfect journey.
Yes.
Somebody needs that.
Somebody needs to hear it.
Because perfection it's something that you can't attain. So it's important for us to tell our stories, all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so people, especially the younger people, understand that everything, it's not easy to get what you want. You gotta grind for what you want.
Right.
You gotta work hard for what you want. You know, some days you're gonna cry, some days you're gonna laugh, some days you're gonna, sit with your head down and think hard and long about what needs to happen. But it is a journey. Nothing happens overnight, except maybe the lottery, but then, you gotta spend your money. That's one in a million. Yeah. I'm still waiting to hit the lottery.
It only takes like $1 in a dream.
That's what they say. I think it's more about $500,000 in a dream. But anyway, we digress. So now, you're also a motivational speaker, a trainer, a business analyst, a coach. How did you make your way to all of those things? When did you know that you had that in you?
I'm still searching. We're always still searching, right? But my career in corporate America, that's where it comes from. I am a business analyst by trade, working in the financial technology industry for over 20 years. And I started off training. In the years of, I'm dating myself, Y2K.
No,
right?
okay. You're not dating something, you're dating compared to me.
We're building systems, so I was always part of companies in that .com boom in the financial industry where we started to automate some of our processes. Because I was in corporate, on trading desks where we were manually writing things out and inputting things in like Excel spreadsheets, and there were no straight through processes that enabled businesses and companies to talk to each other. So I was right there on the forefront of a lot of it. And I took that. I found that I was always an entrepreneur because I help people with resume writing. So I did different things. I was in hospitality where I did events planning. I wanted to be a caterer at one point. I tried it all.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I was all over the place. And at one point,
they would call that industrious.
Yes, I'm industrious. So I tried different things, and then I would stop and start, and then I found myself wanting to climb that corporate ladder.
Okay.
And then I got more money, more troubles, problems.
Yeah.
So as you climb, the issues.
That's what the Wayne said, right? More money, more problems.
Right. So as I kept going on my journey, I started to realize that, especially in corporate America, women were far and few between in technology. So when we were there, when there's a position available, guess what's happening? The men throw us in the ring. And I started to feel sick and empty with that feeling. So I decided that, and then I started watching how successful the teams I were on were, helping people become rich, create products that they would then sell to make more money. And I'm left behind with nothing, just a job. I mean, I had a job, but I watched all these people start small, grow, and become big. And using some of your knowledge. And using my skills, my knowledge. Right, exactly, because that's the thing. That I taught myself, that I honed in on. Right. Don't let corporate America make you think that they're giving you your skills, your abilities, and your
say that again.
Right? Don't let corporate America make you think that they are giving you your knowledge and your skills.
Let me tell you something. We're gonna take a moment on that one. Let me tell you why. Because in September of 2015, my job was eliminated, and that's pretty much how this podcast got started. Because I came here and I told that story to another woman who has a show that comes on after mine, and one of the things the gentleman tried to do when he, was telling me my job was eliminated, he tried to put me down.
Yeah.
Right? He tried to tell me who I was and all that. But guess what? Luckily for him, I come from strong parenting, okay? And my mother and my father made sure I knew who I was every day I walked out that door, okay? And then, like you said earlier, I'm a child of God, okay? And God says that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, okay? And then also, wait a minute, because I'm not there and I'm sad. I'm a bison. I'm a proud Howard University graduate, okay? I walked through those doors in 1979 and I graduated with a baccalaureate degree, okay? That financial services company didn't give me that. I earned that, okay? And all the work that I did to that point is because of me, not because of him.
Not because of him.
And so I realized today, maybe I didn't realize it that day because it felt like failure that day.
Right.
But they failed, not me. Not me. I'm a winner. I knew what I was doing then and I know what I'm doing now. And that is a lesson that we should make sure that any woman that's listening to us right now knows. Those people where you work, they make you and they can't break you.
And they can't break you.
You walked in knowing what you know. You'll walk out knowing more than what you know, and you can make a business out of doing what you do for another company. Let's say that again. You can make a business. You can become an entrepreneur with that knowledge. Stop making other people rich.
Right.
Make yourself rich at the same time.
At the same time.
At the same
time. It's possible. You just need to create a plan.
Yes.
Have a strategy, have backup systems, have a support system.
Yes.
A group of people that understand your struggle, believe in your struggle. She has been there. She's been through the journeys of highs.
Yes.
At the greatest, closest to that ceiling.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because she was in high executive positions and then to come down.
Yes.
And it's okay to fall.
Yes.
And it's okay to what was me for a day or two, but you have to.
You gotta pick yourself up.
Pick yourself up.
Dust yourself off. Pray if you believe in a higher power. And I'll tell you, I prayed every single day, all day long. I used to think that God was tired of hearing from me. But
He's not tired.
He wasn't tired, and the Nourish Spot was born. And with that, I'm gonna make a shameless plug. You are watching the Nourish Spot Hour. I'm Dawn Kelly, CEO of the Nourish Spot. We're a healthy food and beverage haven located here in Southeast Jamaica, Queens. We're located at 10705 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard. We offer customizable healthy goodness, customizable salads, smoothies, natural juice blends, sandwich wraps, fruit cups, all kind of mixed nuts. We have avocado, flax seeds, chia seeds. We have all the healthy produce, fruits, vegetables, and foodstuffs that you need to get your healthy on. In Southeast Queens, we're one of the highest areas for diabetes, heart disease, all kind of ailments, cancer, all kind of stuff.
Right.
And so I've been reading a lot lately about how diet is linked to disease. So please, let us nourish you. Come into the Nourish Spot, or listen, go into a juice bar or a salad bar near you. Because if you don't live in Jamaica, Queens, you live someplace else in the nation, I'm sure that there is a supermarket or a juice bar, a salad bar that's nearby. Come on, make yourself healthy. Put down some of that fried food, put down those sodas, okay? And get yourself a great salad or some good soup to get your healthy on. Now, back to Marsha.
Yes.
Back to Marsha and Women on the Rise New York. So let's talk about the foundation that you founded, the Eva Jordan Foundation.
Thank you. That's my grandmother.
Okay.
After she passed. So the foundation came before Women on the Rise.
Wow, okay, great.
It did. I founded that in 2009.
Okay.
I found myself still in corporate America working for a company, and they didn't make me feel good all the time.
Okay.
But I wasn't going anywhere because I knew that I was there for a purpose.
Okay.
And it was the people. And sooner or later, those people will be eliminated.
Oh, they will. Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. That's another time. We
Okay.
hear about that stuff. But I knew that I needed more. I felt like I was wasting myself. And I was making a lot of money. And I wasn't really doing progressive things.
Okay.
And at that time, I stopped being an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I stopped with any endeavors at all. I was just living.
Okay.
Living la vida loca. Living like travel.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
So I needed to find purpose. I needed to find something. So I started with my nonprofit. And that was the year I bought a year before too, I bought my first house, my own house. And I was like, this was God. I woke up one morning, I said, I'm gonna buy a house. That's what I'm gonna do. 6 months later, I had a house.
Go girl.
And I was like, how did that happen?
God.
I don't know if I had money, but somehow it all came together. I put it in the atmosphere. I told God what I wanted, and He made it possible.
Well, the scripture says, cast your bread upon the water, and many days it shall return.
Yes.
There you go.
And that's exactly what happened.
So now tell me about the foundation.
So the foundation we started off as just really going out and making sandwich bags and going out into Manhattan, handing out sandwiches to the homeless.
Okay.
And then handing out light winter clothing to them in the winter time. And then it evolved. And prior to the foundation, I was volunteering all the time at different places. I volunteered at my church.
What church is that?
Blessed Sacrament in Valley Stream.
Okay.
Catholic Church. And I volunteered teaching the special needs children religion to help the special needs kids learn about religion and go through their sacraments. And a friend of mine, because I was doing the homeless thing, and a friend of mine was like, why isn't what you're doing with the special needs kids part of your mission? I was like, oh, light bulb. I never thought of it.
Right.
So I brought that.
That's why you gotta have good friends.
That's why you gotta be surrounded by people who are gonna continue to elevate you.
Right.
And strategize.
Right.
So I incorporated doing programs for families with special needs with my volunteer work, and we would host like Zumba parties for the kids to come out and just commune and just have fun. And then it evolved into backpack giveaways, sponsoring kids to summer programs, and it was, it's been great. A challenge and a struggle all at once because I'm doing so much.
Right.
But every year we still continue to do something now.
And so how long has the foundation been in existence? Since 2009? Wow, so that's 10 years. You're doing good.
Yeah.
You're doing good. So how many people do you think that you have impacted over the 10 years?
Over 500, because we get at least 50 book bags a year, every summer. And one year we gave over 100 book bags away.
Oh, that's
We've
nice.
sponsored kids to like summer camp in the community.
That's wonderful.
So it's something I need to look into and look at my books to really come up with a number.
Okay. So how do you fundraise for that? If people wanted to make a donation to the Eva Jordan Foundation, how would they send you a donation?
We're accredited
501?
business page on Facebook.
Okay.
Because they verify that you are actually 501c3.
Okay.
And so we are on Facebook. We can take donations through Facebook, Eva, YVA, Jordan, JOURDAN Foundation, and our website, tyjf.org. And we actually there was a time where I would host events like 3-4 times a year.
Okay.
We do bake-offs, I'd go to fairs and sell cupcakes, cookies, t-shirts. But really it's become more of, we get a couple of sponsors.
Okay.
So when I start farming and looking for sponsors, so if you're looking to sponsor a nonprofit organization, call me.
Okay.
And we take sponsor money. And so these last 2 years, we've evolved in our programming for the nonprofit, and we're now teaching families, women and children about entrepreneurship.
Wonderful.
Those are 2 new programs we started, and we also go to schools where inclusion classes are found, and we read storybooks to children about what it means to be kind. so that they can kind of get through and talk openly about the whole bullying thing.
Right. I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful. So again, if there are people that would like to donate or organizations that would like to sponsor the Eva Jordan Foundation, how do they get in touch with you? What should they do?
They can go to our website, www.tyjf.org, or you can always call me, well, not call me, but email me at info@womenontheriseny.com. That's the best email.
You know, I gotta laugh at that. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because, like, I don't want to date us, but, you know, my age starts with a 5 and her age starts with a 4. There used to be a time in America you couldn't say, oh, don't call me. That was the only way that a person could get in touch with you.
Right.
How the world has changed.
Right.
Like, there's so many different ways that people can interact with you. So don't call me, text me. No, don't text me. Email me. No, don't email me. DM me. I mean, I'm going to tell you, it's amazing how life changes. And that's important.
Yeah.
That's important, especially for entrepreneurs. It's almost like we have to keep our finger on the pulse of how life changes in order to stay in business, in order to stay relevant to the customer at large. Right. Okay, because if you're not changing with the times, you're gonna be left behind and find yourself struggling. I mean, let's look at all of the businesses and all the industries that have been disrupted over the years, including media, including telephones, including music, including retail. Retail is taking a hit because of places like, or big brands like Amazon, you know.
Amazon, Walmart, social media in
online
general.
shopping.
Internet in general.
But you know, I you know, and I don't want to get too much off topic, but I think this is important. So I think about that all the time, right? I think about how we are changing because it seems like the preponderance of people are online. But I know that that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
So what about all the people that's going to get left behind?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people that don't have access to the internet. There's a lot of people that don't have access to working phones every single day, okay? So how do they get information? How do they get what they need if they don't have access to an iPhone or a smartphone?
You know why that's not off topic? Because the answer is face-to-face at places like the Women on the Rise Corporate Expo. You gotta be live.
You got
to be live.
Right.
You have networking is not just a social thing online. You have to come out. You have to go into the brick and mortars that are still in existence.
Right.
You got to meet the community. You have to meet the people where they are.
Right.
And that's what, as leaders, right? As influencers and micro-influencers, that's what we do. We stay on the grind and the pulse of both technology and that live interaction.
Right, relationships matter. See, that's something that I talk about all the time because, you know, I know when I was in corporate America, you know, I learned early that it was all about who you knew.
Yes.
But then when I was trying to get promoted to the big job, I had a mentor tell me it's no longer about who you know. It's all about who knows you and who will vouch for you.
Yes.
It's sponsorship time.
Yes.
So even as an entrepreneur, it's important to have sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
People, boosters, people are out there advocating for you even when you're not in earshot.
It's ambassadorship. It's the culmination of building a brand that when you're not in the room, what are they saying about you? Exactly.
And so that's why it's important to come to events like Women on the Rise New York Conference and Expo, so that you can interact with other like-minded women. You can meet people that ultimately you can cultivate relationships with, and either you could be their sponsor or they're your sponsor, and then you're both building together and sharing great ideas, because the more of us that work together, the better for all of us,
you
right?
see what they did to the chicken? You see what they did for the chicken? Why can't we do it for ourselves?
Tell them, what did they do with the chicken?
They gave the chicken, was it about $42 million in free advertising?
Yes. I was so angry with that whole Popeyes thing.
I didn't know what was going on for a good day or two until all of the media.
It was, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like the people that created that campaign, they did a mind trick on especially African Americans. It was a mind trick. They used our excitement.
But we bought it hook, line, and
Yeah, they
sinker.
used it against us. But I would say, you know what? That's okay. Because what happens is it's going to turn around. You know, what's done in the dark comes out in the light, and everything is cyclical. So just like we realized that we could do that for a brand that has nothing to do with us, that does nothing for African Americans, we now know, okay, young, old, middle age, we now know our power and what we can do. So,
how are we going to use it?
Well, I hope we can use it for you all to come to the Nourish Spot, okay?
That's right.
Where the Nourish Spot is located at 10705 Guy Arbor Boulevard. You can follow us on Instagram at The Nourish Spot. That's TheNourishSpot. And we're that way on Twitter as well as on Instagram. And we're on Facebook as The Nourish Spot. We also have a website. So we hope that we can get maybe even a smidgen.
Can we just get a quarter?
Yeah, like a quarter of the support that chicken brand got from our community. Just a quarter of that support.
Yeah.
Imagine if we, in all of the different cities across the United States, if a quarter of that support would go to Black and brown owned businesses in those states.
Did you share the broadcast? We're on live. How many of you guys shared the broadcast? It costs nothing to share.
That's right. Can you do that? Share the broadcast. Yes.
Right?
Thank you.
We have to remind us, people out there sometimes.
Yes.
Share the broadcast, please. Tell your friends about it.
That's right.
Bring a friend.
Bring a friend. Right, because you can do things to support a business, right, that don't cost you a dime. They might cost you some time, right? And I do know time is money. But if you care about me, or if you care about Marsha, or if you care about your own family and friends, share this information. Tell people about the conference that's coming up this Friday and Saturday at the LaGuardia Plaza Hotel. It's the Women on the Rise New York Conference and Expo. And wait, we're leaving out a really important part. In the expo, you're going to have vendors. What kind of vendors are going to show up?
We always have the best vendors. We have jewelry vendors, your famous paparazzi jewelry, Tracy Lynn Jewelry, those two vendors. And we also have skincare vendors. We have a makeup line.
Wonderful.
We have career services.
Okay.
And it's something that this is where you're going to find people that can support you in every area. We have accountants, lawyers, people to help give you and coach you and give you advice. So when you come to a space like this, you're not just there to buy from the brands and the products, right? You're there to also meet resources that can help you in both personal and professional.
Now let me ask you a question, because this week, and because I was so excited Marsha was here, I didn't really talk about some of the stuff that went on this week, but this has been a powerful week in my life. And it's also my birthday week. I'll be having a big birthday on Thursday. But this week, I actually sat for my one-on-one training as a woman entrepreneur, coach, and mentor with New York City Small Business Services. And so as a result of that training, I realized that I have a little bit more grasp on some resources. So I need to know from you, has SBS been contacted? Are they going to show up at your event? Because if they're not, I'm going to make a call and see if we can
Let's
get some
call, 'cause
researchers.
My calls weren't answered.
Okay,
So now we got somebody in the building. You see what having relationships can do for you? I made a call or an email and it wasn't answered. So
okay.
now maybe.
As a mentor, I'm going to try.
As a result of this,
Yeah, I'm going to
perhaps
try.
that could happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a call because I know for a fact that we NYC is committed, okay, committed to helping women-owned businesses thrive.
The resources that are out here, the list goes on.
Yes,
And I love that every week or so, you highlight the resources in your journey that you've tapped into in New York.
Thank you.
You can't do it by yourself.
No, you can't. And I'm gonna tell you, see, I'm an accidental entrepreneur. You know, I actually thought that I was gonna retire from corporate America with the gold watch and, you know, go off and do what retired people do.
Right.
But in 2015, that was changed for me. I'm actually very glad today, you know, because I probably wouldn't have left my job on my own. And so this is a way that God made it easier for me to step out and do the things that He had planned for me, right? And so being in a business now allows me to bring all of the information that I've learned, I get to use it all in one place and I love it. But also now having the opportunity to be a coach, right? I get to share all the stuff that I've learned over all these years and now this new information. So as I mentioned, I'm going to call my colleagues over at We NYC and I encourage everybody, especially all you women entrepreneurs out there or would-be entrepreneurs, go online. Visit We NYC, Women Entrepreneurs NYC. There's a whole host of activities and information, and that's there for your fingertips. This is tax levy funds that are used to help women-owned businesses. And there's a special commitment to diverse women from diverse communities. So I'm definitely gonna make that call. You keep me honest, make sure on Monday you say, Dawn, did you make that call? Okay, but I'm definitely gonna do that because I definitely think that they should be in the room sharing the resources that they have at their beck and call on behalf of women in New York City. Okay?
We also have Hofstra Idea Hub, Hofstra University in Long Island.
Okay.
They have grown a huge, wonderful entrepreneurship programs.
Okay.
And they're going to be there sharing those programs as well.
That's wonderful.
They have programs that are free and that are paid for, sort of masterminds and workshops.
Okay.
But what they do is phenomenal.
Okay.
They have think tanks. They have workshops to help you in all those areas of entrepreneurship,
That's
marketing.
wonderful.
Marketing is so huge. People believe that they can run a business without really honing in on the skills necessary to do marketing, and it's a must.
You can't have a business. People, if you're the best kept secret, you're not gonna have any clients. So marketing is important.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to wrap up. You know, an hour goes quickly. Before we wrap up, you know, Marsha has to answer the question that every guest answers on this show. And Marsha, the question to you from me is, how do you nourish yourself? You know, this is the Nourish Spot Hour, and self-care is important to us. Okay, so tell the listeners and viewers, how do you yourself nourish yourself?
I spend quality time with my son and my family. I come from a very large family and we're always together.
Okay.
There's always a family celebration. There's always downtime.
Okay.
I love spending time with my family. That's like my number one thing.
Okay.
Cutting out time, spending moments in silence is a huge part of my nourishment because I need to decompress from all of this, right? From all that I do. I work in technology. My business is all through technology, so I have to shut down.
Okay.
And I do that every night with my son
Okay.
through prayer
Okay.
and really just tuning out the world.
Nothing wrong with
I'm
that.
one of those introvert extroverts where I am like, ooh, give me 2 days by myself, I'm happy.
You know, it's so funny that you say that because I used to tell everybody, oh, I'm an extrovert. I'm an extrovert. I love being around people. But then there comes a moment when it's like, okay, just shut it all down.
Yeah.
All I want to do is go in my house, close the door. I don't want to answer the phone. I don't want to watch the TV. I just want silence. And I want to be alone with my thoughts and God.
Yes.
And then tomorrow, we can have another day.
Go back to the chaos. And I'm so blessed as a single mother to have parents and my brothers and my family that really supports me.
Wonderful.
And so when they know that I've been in these highs and lows of really, really busy, stressful times, they just take Josh from me.
Oh, that's
And then I
lovely.
get to have that time to myself to either hang out with some friends
Right.
or to really just be alone.
Just relax.
Just relax.
So we appreciate you all coming out to hear from Marsha Guerrier, CEO of Women on the Rise New York. We hope that you will come out this Friday, October 18th, and Saturday, October 19th at the LaGuardia Plaza Hotel. The address is
104-04 Ditmars Boulevard.
yes, and get your ticket today. It's selling out because there's going to be some high-powered sisters up there talking about how you can launch your business, how you can sustain your business, and how you can grow it forward.
Yeah.
So come on out. And how do they get in touch with you or purchase tickets?
You can go straight to the website www.womenontheriseny.com.
Thank you so much, Marsha. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to working with you on Saturday. I think that's the day of my panel. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday and seeing you all on Saturday at Women on the Rise, New York. Until then, remember, you are what you put into yourself. So eat healthy, read some good books, and be around people that support you, not tolerate you. Bye-bye.